Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and a well for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests and graduates, I would now like to invite Uncle Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Budjimulinawul, everyone. Good morning. And Nalawa. Welcome to the lands of the Walla Medical. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the university for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this morning. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabarongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bulungai, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in more traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly live well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 250 years ago, he described the people he encountered as one of the happiest people he had ever met. They owned nothing, he wrote, but the tools they carried. They were naked, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and fed their families without excessive tilling or cultivating of the earth. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no homelessness. Armies were unheard of, as were forts, jails, or even fences. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, which were then shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state through fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them, as they have done here, for the past 20 to 30,000 years. So this is not a dream or an ideal. This is normal life for us, and for the longest time. And there is no good reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. However, we are a clever people, and there is still much magic in the world, I like to believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, we are naturally happy, and normally very good at looking after each other and the planet. I would just ask that you share your skills with the rest of us and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this and I'm confident we can put together a world we can be proud of and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine by winding up and letting you graduate today. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Yano.
I am pleased to introduce Chancellor of Macquarie University, Dr. Martin Parkinson AC.
Thank you, Chris, for your always warm and thoughtful welcome to country. It's a great honour that you and your colleagues do us by participating in these events. And so on behalf of everyone here, I thank you yet again. The welcome to country that you've all just heard is a reminder of the long history of the land on which we meet, of its custodians, the Darug people, and the charge they've given us to use this land well for teaching, learning and discovery. I think it's always worthwhile at these events reflecting on that. The knowledge has been passed down by the 65,000 years of Indigenous civilisation on this country, and our role as keepers of knowledge, fosterers of knowledge, and people who are meant to build and hand it on to the future. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by welcoming you, each and every one of you, here to the Macquarie University Wallamatical campus. Most importantly, though, I want to offer a warm welcome and hearty congratulations to our graduates meeting today on this magnificent occasion of celebration. You can at least smile. You're meant to be happy. Completing a degree is never easy. It requires determination and perseverance, hard work and dedication to purpose. Now, each and every one of you should feel incredibly proud of your accomplishments, and I can assure you that the university feels proud of what it is that you've achieved. Many of you are fortunate enough today to be here in the company of family and friends. For others of you, though, travel restrictions and distance mean this may not actually have been possible. But for all of you, even in the most challenging of circumstances, these people, your family, your friends, your community, will have made your journey easier. So to all the family and friends of our graduates, may I say, welcome. I see that we have a few small children and even an occasional baby with us today. I want you to know that they are especially welcome. It's okay, he can wave to me and I'll wave back. I want you to know that we don't expect young children to remain quiet. They're here to celebrate the graduation. So to all of the children here today, I want you to feel especially welcome. We believe that all celebrations are enhanced by the presence of all members of families, and children are key parts of that. So if you feel the need to run around, have a great time, make as much commotion as you need to, and we'll just carry on regardless. And to the parents of small children, as you leave, grab one of our staff and get an application for early enrolment at Macquarie. To our graduating students, the support you've received is a reminder that while our individual efforts are very important, much of what we'll achieve in our lives will happen because we support one another, because we work together, because we live together as a community, as Chris pointed out. In short, we truly are stronger together. And it's important to maintain this commitment to mutual support, especially in times of great turbulence. When we look around the world today, we cannot help but be struck by the increasingly divergent political landscapes that we see. That's reflected in the rise of populism, authoritarianism, and a return to nation-state conflict. We see deliberate attempts by both state and non-state actors to sow disinformation, to undermine trust in science and reasoning, in order to fracture our communities. And we see a global community still struggling to find common cause on the great challenges confronting humanity, whether it be mass migration to escape conflict and poverty, or global health crises, or climate change. In short, it's clear that the world that we may have become used to over the last 75 years is now severely disrupted. Now, every generation thinks it lives in particularly complex times, but there's no doubt in my mind that today we confront a remarkably complex environment. And how we as individuals, communities and countries navigate these challenges will be central to our shared prospects for peace and prosperity wherever we live. I hope that you, graduates, have found that your education experience has strengthened your sense of the importance of working together for the betterment of our communities, our nations and our world. As you go out into the world as graduates of Macquarie University, your lives will get busy with the minutiae. Your jobs, your relationships, your families, and so on. But even when you're confronting all of those challenges, all those balls that you have to keep juggling, I'd urge you to keep an eye on some key issues. Asking yourself, how can we each play our part in navigating through times of great turbulence? What are our responsibilities as graduates and scholars to create a better world? How can we engage in dialogue as members of the Australian community, or as members of communities of other countries, or as members of the global community? Respectful engagement and constructive dialogue are central to solving the big problems that we face. I'd urge you all to draw on the skills and experiences you've gained here at Macquarie and through your entire education journey to participate fully in those discussions. For us to be successful, we must all be willing to share our skills and knowledge and to bring our expertise to the table. We must all be prepared to continue to intellectually grow, to be good listeners, to learn from others, and to respect a diversity of views. I encourage you to remain curious, to be a lifelong learner. After all, as Mark Twain said, and I quote, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbour, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. In short, be optimistic, seek challenges, and take calculated risks. Accept that there'll be some differences of opinion, even amongst people who share similar motivations. But differences of opinion don't make people wrong. Acknowledge that and commit yourselves to working for the common good. But to do all that, though, you will need strength. As the great African-American writer and Nobel Prize winner Toni Morrison told another university gathering in 1996, and I quote, "Service to the individual, to the government, to the world requires unwavering," and I emphasise that word, unwavering commitment to intellectual freedom, to virtues already being debased by apathy or mindless rage, virtues of integrity, of honour, faith, selflessness and courage. These are wonderful words, and I urge you to remember them and to try to live by them. Soon it's going to be my honour to confer your degrees and to welcome you into the ranks of the Macquarie University alumni. But before I do, it's my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Mr. Brooke Adcock. Brooks had an extensive and multidisciplinary career. Having obtained numerous qualifications in the field of aviation, he spent 13 years in the Royal Australian Air Force as a pilot and then as an instructor before joining Qantas, flying 747s, 767s and Airbus A330s. Following this, he pivoted his focus and became a student here at the Macquarie Graduate School of Management, where he completed his studies in strategic financial management, financial modelling and valuation. In 2004, he and his wife founded Pandora Jewellery Australia and built it into a leading brand, not just here, but globally. When they sold it in 2009, it accounted for a quarter of Pandora's global sales. Brooke's a leading entrepreneur in Australia and is currently the owner and executive chairman of Adcock Private Equity, which takes those risks that I talked about by investing in technology companies across sectors such as finance, health, space and law. So I'd really like you all, ladies and gentlemen, to join me in welcoming Brooke Adcock to deliver the occasional address.
I'm honoured to be here today at one of Australia's most prestigious universities to deliver this occasional address for the graduating class of 2022. Thank you, Chancellor, for the kind invitation to be here, and I'd like to acknowledge the other members of the faculty, staff, distinguished guests, and of course graduates, friends and family. If all the world's a stage, if life's a play, and the play the Odyssey, who would you like to be? Which role would you like to have? To be frank, you don't have a choice. You are Odysseus. There are many heroines and heroes, but where's all the action? Spoiler, it's not in here. For me today, it's here with all of you, and today I'm excited to make a brief appearance and to play a role, as small as it is, in your journey, in your Odyssey and your story. Today I hope to convince you to seize the role of Odysseus, and I hope to convince you just how exciting that role can sometimes be. So let's begin. I've only got 8 minutes, so strap in for a few while I race through a few anecdotes and a few decades of my own. Chapter 1, don't miss your train. I left school and accidentally joined the Air Force. It's a true story. Some of us know all along what we're going to do with our lives, but most of us don't. And not knowing can be daunting. If that's you, if that's still you, then I hope over the next now 7 minutes, you'll realise that you're one of the lucky ones. I've learnt that not knowing what lies ahead can be just as exciting as the anticipation of knowing what does. I'd narrowed my options down to either following my dad or older brother to become a commercial pilot, or at my dad's suggestion, checking out the Air Force. For some reason, he thought that might suit me better. But that meant that I still had one too many choices, or many options, and I didn't know how to go about deciding which one. Not long afterwards, either by chance or design, I found myself walking past an Air Force recruiting office. So I popped in to check it out. I had a cunning plan. Why not try to join the Air Force and let them make the decision for me? If I got in, great. If I didn't, great. Either way, I would know what I was going to do. That way of thinking has become a trait of mine. I was beginning to learn the value of having options, that years later, I'd study further right here at Macquarie during a strategic financial management program whilst preparing for the sale of Pandora. Giving yourself options and having options in life is just as valuable, probably more so, than financial options. So I attended a selection day, and at the end I found myself the last to be called into an office to find out how I'd gone. Everyone else had filed in and filed out, shaking their heads, some were in tears, so I didn't hold out much hope of getting through to the next round. I walked in and the recruiting officer said, "Brooke, I've just got one question for you. If someone under your command made a mistake, would you take responsibility for it?" Well, Brooke, it's getting late. Would you take responsibility for it? I need to, mate. By this stage it was just mate, no more Brooks. It's 5:15 and my train comes in 10 minutes, so absolutely, sir, of course I would. That's all I wanted to hear, and so I said, "Thanks, sir, don't miss your train." So don't miss your train. When you put yourself or your company in the best position possible to take advantage of all the opportunities that do come along, grab them when they do. This was a good opportunity. This was far too good an opportunity for me to miss, so I grabbed it. 4 months later, I was driving through the front gates of the Air Force, down at Point Cook, wondering what on earth I'd done. I'd just taken my first real steps step along my life's journey and had accidentally joined the Air Force as a result. I was terrified, but excited for what lay ahead. Fast forward 13 years after picking up a science degree, living and flying all around the country, losing a few friends and colleagues in accidents along the way, gaining others as lifelong friends, and learning a few things about loyalty and responsibility, I was ready for the next megatrend of my life, marriage. Hold that thought. I learnt that loyalty goes both up and down the chain of command, and that you can delegate authority, but you can't delegate responsibility, and that you may as well take the responsibility for your own actions because it belongs to you anyway. It's yours, so take it and own it. Chapter 2, marriage. After a few years of doing all sorts of courses and learning all sorts of stuff, I ended up failing the last ride of a 6-month-long F111 course, and I ended up in Perth. I'd never failed anything significant before, so I was still pretty upset and wondering what was next. Whilst I loved instructing, my dream of one day leading the Air Force, as fanciful as that may have been, was over. A friend was getting married in Brisbane, and since Dad was in Cathay Pacific in Hong Kong, it was actually cheaper for me to fly to Brisbane from Perth via Hong Kong. It's probably still true today. I stopped off to visit Dad for a day or so, and while walking to the bus stop to take me back to his hotel one night, I noticed a tall, blonde, blue-eyed girl, much older than me. I think she's watching, so I just had to throw that in. Who looked wonderful. I waited for her to board the bus, followed her on, and I sat down beside her. As it turned out, she was Danish, and some of you may be able to see where this is heading. Those that at least know the origins of Pandora jewellery, that is. Within 6 months, she had moved to Perth. Within 12 months, I'd left the Air Force and had joined Qantas. We had moved to Sydney. Karen had given birth to our first wonderful daughter, Tiffany. I was so lucky, as it turned out, to have failed that F111 course. Neither of us knew it at the time, but the next 7 years were our learning years, as they continued to prepare us both for Pandora. You may think that your learning years are over, but in many ways they've just begun. We both began working for my dad, running a plastic company. Karen was great at operations, HR, sales, and marketing, and I taught myself the language of business, accounting and finance, and a little bit about tax, from a really good book called MBA for Dummies. Whilst talking of classic books, 2 others that I highly recommend are The Richest Man in Babylon by George Samuel Clason and The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Karen and I built a great business, but it was Dad's, so when he came home from Hong Kong, we helped him set it up in Brisbane and began looking for our next adventure together. Chapter 3, Bedlam. An opportunity for me to pursue a career in politics came and went, as did an opportunity to pursue a more managerial role at Qantas. But as usual, it was time, and we were ready for life to give us another nudge, or this time around, more like a bit of a shoulder charge. This time, 2 opportunities popped up at the same time. We got an opportunity to buy a taxi business that operated 36 cars, and some friends of Karen's back in Denmark suggested that we try to get the Australian agency for a little jewellery brand called Pandora that was doing well overseas. Once again, we had options, and we were ready, or at least we thought we were. So rather than decide which one to pursue, I suggested that we pursue both. My rationale was that we were unlikely to get either one, but if we tried for both, then we could get lucky and end up with one or the other. So that's what we did, but this time I was wrong. We ended up with both. In October 2004, we had 3 girls under 7. I was still flying for Qantas. We had bought a taxi business with 36 cars that operated 24/7. It had its own auto electrical workshop, mechanical workshop, panel beating workshop, and we had just been given the Australian agency for a little jewellery brand that we knew absolutely nothing about. This time we were both terrified, and we were both only somewhat excited this time for what lay ahead. I think they call that trepidation. We were excited, but our au pair wasn't. She bolted back to Denmark, and our first job was to find a new au pair. And so it began. The Pandora story is a story all on its own, but to wrap things up, when we sold the business 4.5 years later, we were supplying about 800 multi-branded jewellery stores had 25 company-owned concept stores and had grown, as Martin said, to account for about 23.25% of global sales, just behind the US, which had started a couple of years before us and had about 25% of global sales. We didn't miss that train. We got smashed by it, but we survived. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. It's an old Chinese proverb. I had no idea when I stepped into that recruiting office that my life would take the course that it did. I had no idea, sorry, just catch my breath. I had no idea that I'd have the chance to dance the skies on laughter-silvered wings when flying, nor do 100 other things, as per the famous poem about flying. If you don't know where you're heading, but you know the rough direction, start walking. That's an old saying of my own. There's so much to experience in this world. It owes you nothing, but it owes you nothing. It's up to each of you to chart your own course, to pick a rough direction and to start walking. Above all, remember to enjoy the journey, because not all of us actually know where we're going, or we'll always make it to where we want to go for those that do. On that sombre, but hopefully encouraging note, may I say congratulations to the graduating class of 2002, and thank you all very much.
Thanks, Brooke. I think I always find that the perspectives that our occasional speakers bring are very different, but there's always a lesson for all of us, no matter how old we are, in what they say. And in this, I think the message is don't miss the train, or put another way, never have buyer's regret about what you do. Just step forward and give it a go. If it doesn't work out, well, you've learnt something. Stop, pivot, go in a different direction. It's the journey rather than the destination that's important for helping you grow as individuals. Now, I'd really like you to again join me in thanking Brooke for that thoughtful and heartfelt occasional address. So as Chancellor of Macquarie, it's really exciting to get dressed up like this. It works a real treat when you walk down the street. But the reason we do this is because of the importance of this ceremony. And I really think that for me as Chancellor, presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees on those of you who complied with the university's requirement for such awards is one of the highlights. Seeing you here and understanding what it is that you've achieved to date and the challenges that you're going to go on and take on as you leave here is a source of great optimism for me and for the university and for our broader communities. So I'm now going to call on the Acting Registrar, Professor Taryn Jones, to formally certify the eligibility of those who have met the requirements for these awards.
Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees to which they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each and every one of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Macquarie Business School. I now call on Professor Leonie Tickle, Deputy Dean of Research and Innovation from the Macquarie Business School, to present the graduates. Professor Tickle.
Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from Macquarie Business School. Macquarie Business School represents the modern version of the long and storied history at this university of teaching the next generation of leaders in the fields of economics, finance, actuarial studies, business analytics, marketing, management and accounting. Our school prides itself on a simple and singular focus, you to the power of us. The great economist and philosopher Amartya Sen, winner of the 1998 Nobel Prize in Economics, once said that true liberty is to have the freedom to live the life one has reason to value. So it follows that our true purpose at Macquarie Business School is to empower you, our students, to lead lives that you have reason to value. We give you both feet and wings, feet in the foundational training of mathematics and philosophy recast in the modern disciplines of management, economics, marketing and beyond, and wings so that you find inspiration in the grand problems of our time. We face much change in the world today. The scale and combination of demographic, economic, political, technological, environmental and social change poses tremendous risk to both people and planet. Our society faces escalating geopolitical tension at the same time that we wrestle with climate change, energy transition, income equality and the fragmentation of news channels. I have every confidence that those of you who sit before us today will rise to and join the highest echelons of leadership in Australia and within our region. Sitting amongst our graduates today are tomorrow's CEOs, members of parliament, entrepreneurs, public administrators, not-for-profit leaders and thought leaders. So graduates, I hope that when you look back on your time with us, you'll remember not only your sacrifice, years of hard work, but that your experience empowered you to make a difference in the world and to lead a life that you value. Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Macquarie Business School whom you've admitted to degrees or awarded diplomas. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Science, Lisa Safranek. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Economics, Raywin Chung. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Environment, Amelia Humphreys. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the degree of Bachelor of Science, Thomas Southwick. Caitlin Walmsley. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Sandra Borodyansky. Alice Gilby. Nidal Mohammed Ibrahim. Diniti Karuna Gedera. Darian Liebenberg. Adriana Parisi. Valentina Romini. Michaela Zvinos. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Jordan Aquino. Madeline Eyre. Isuru Balasuria. Jack Barclay. Alexander Bovington. Holly Carter. Lisa Katzel. Tiana Shalon. Samuel Charlton. Shin Tung Chen. David Chen. Hanadi Debay. Ivana Danun. Tina Davidovich. James Durr. Raffaele Diacal. Justine Diokno. Eliza El Masri. Janice Esteban. Eloise Etienne. Georgia Fields. Elizabeth Gadate. Mia Gastelas. George Gregorio. Maxwell Hall. Dane Hansen. Lachlan Henrison. Vi Huang. James Huggins. Tiana Yukono. Olivia Ingersoll. Nathaniel Keane Jansen. James Jong. Yathivi Jayakumar. Christine Jimenez. Kobe Johnson. Jose Putra Jonathan. Tanvi Karavadra. Matthew Kayalainen. Chantel Kerry. Faraz Khan. Akib Abrar Noor Kondakar. Dean Kilshaw. Janice Kim. Jihoon Ko. Bridie Cruz. Joshua Kuzwendi. Dylan Lal. Brianna Layton. Peter Lekopoulos. Nare Lee. Ho Leung. Hui Jun Lee. Surjan Lin. Emma Livingston. Sochi Long. Connor Lucas. Daniel Louis. William Lynch. Charlotte McGee. Karishma Mahalik. Jacob McBride. Natasha Melton. Sue Won Min. Sanaz Mirza. Angus Misson. Lillian Moore. Julian Moshagov. Kombarire Madzingwa. Charlotte Nan. Ezra Nathaniel. Isabella Newell. Dean Gore. Samuel Nicholas. Charles Nicholas. Naharika. Daniel Olivieri. Shalom Olabamiro. Isabella Pala. Sojong Park. Rory Peters. Cindy Farm. Jordan Pineda. Emma Sefton. Laura Snidero. Vigna Sritaran. Daniel Stack. Waleed Suleiman. Benjamin Tassi. Marco Tisera. Cindy Tran. T. Min Doan Jan. Ria Varandani. Jovana Vojnovic. Jack Wang. Jeff Williams. Bailey Wilson. Tanisha Wong. Wei Wu. Fong Zhu. Edward Young. Jessica Young. Rui Young Zhang. Emma Zhao. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Economics. Raunuk Ahmad. Tanvi Aroha. Ozge E. Dogan. Monty Hanlon. Reese Johnson. Patrick Manion. Jia Shin Ng. Shu Bo Peng. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Marketing and Media. Hannah Allen. Tiffany Amphalor. Vishala Aravindan. Joshua Bansma. Christian Brink. William Brown. Hannah Camalotti. Laura Costa. Emma Dimmock. Rachel Driver. Madeline Fartek. Alara Genja. Oliver Greneau. Anna Johansson. Pimnara Konsin Pirabun. Kate McGrath. Ziba Nasrullah. Chow Tao Feng Nguyen. Amanda Ong. Liam Seymour. Ethan Smith. Yasmin Sufan. Jane Susanto. Emmanuel Tambakis. Natalie Vitor. Peter Vrondis. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Philosophy, Peter Doherty. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Professional Accounting, Carl Mabulai. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Economics and Master of International Trade and Commerce Law, Ariombaleg Boitsongku. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Commerce and Master of Marketing, Herlen Chimed Ochie. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Creative Industries and Master of Marketing, Shidra Shaukat Shokana. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Business and Master of Marketing, Yoni Chern Yi Ho. Zeng Hong Van Guak. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Marketing and Master of Media and Communications, Atik Abra. Khan Lin Pham. Yi Nan Zhao. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Economics, William Macquarie. Jasmine Rollan. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Commerce, Kandakar Abid Ibrahim. Genyo Gemat. Van Hyo Nguyen. Saruma Tapa. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Marketing, Jing Huang. Sagar Kandal. Wataru Uishi. Zakia Sultana. Lu Yun Tang. Chancellor, a higher degree by research is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a program of study in which the defining characteristic is research. Our Master of Research is a 2-year full-time equivalent research training degree consisting of research-based coursework, postgraduate research training, and a major research project. Graduates have focused on a specific research topic to produce a thesis of up to 20,000 words in preparation for a doctoral degree. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research, Mariam Ijaz, for a thesis entitled A Time Series Analysis of the Labour Market Conditions Index Gap in Forecasting Labour Market Variables. Muhammad Alam for a thesis entitled Association Between Individual Level and Area Level Socioeconomic Status and Hearing Impairment Among Working Age Australians, a longitudinal study. The Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to graduates who have demonstrated the capacity to conduct research independently by forming a distinct contribution to the knowledge of the subject and to afford evidence of coherence and originality shown either by the discovery of new facts or by the exercise of independent critical power. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Rabia Hassan, for a thesis entitled Exploring the Impact of Corporate Social Responsibility Programs on Consumer Responses. and Dr. Douglas MacLeod for a thesis entitled The Economic Structure of a One-Period Security Market. Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of graduates from the Macquarie Business School.
Chancellor, I call on Zakia Sultana, who graduated with a Master of Marketing, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Zakia.
Thank you, Chancellor. Members of the university, fellow graduates, and guests. With great honor, I stand here today to reflect on my journey and experience with Macquarie University. My name is Zakia. Today, I'm graduating with a Master's of Marketing degree. Macquarie University, a university very close to my heart. To many of you, it is known for providing world-class education and its highly trained educators. To me, it's my second home. My journey with Macquarie University began back in 2011 with my undergrad degree. During that degree, I learned a great deal. Most importantly, I learned to believe in myself. It gave me the confidence and a kickstart to my professional career. So a few years later, when I decided to pursue my master's, I could not think of any other university than Macquarie University. However, this time my journey was a lot more challenging personally. With juggling my family, a toddler, and full-time job, but gradually with the immense support from our highly passionate and supportive academics, I was able to juggle all of it and continue to thrive. I remember my marketing research tutor. He was a kind soul and was always available to help. I was stuck one night when assessment was due the next day, and I emailed him at 10 p.m. at night, hoping that he would at least get back to me in the morning, and I would still have some time to fix my report and submit it. But to my surprise, he replied to me within 15 minutes. I was so grateful that he did not let me worry the whole night and provided his full guidance. At times like this, when I felt stuck, extraordinary support and guidance from the academic team and staff helped me push through and overcome my challenges. With this, I would like to share a dialogue from my favorite professor, Professor Albert Dumbledore. He once said, "Help will always be given to those who ask for it." Most pleasingly at Macquarie and in my personal life, I've always experienced the same. So please, don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our collective Macquarie University staff for their support, my mom for continuously inspiring me, my husband for being there, and my little dear son, who's already a superstar. Without their support, I wouldn't be standing here today. I would also like to extend my congratulations to all my fellow graduates and their families. Congratulations. Also, it is my greatest pleasure to share part of our life at this amazing university. I wish you nothing but the very best with whatever but interesting you decide to do with your degree. Thank you.
Congratulations, Zakia, and thank you for those reflections on your study and your time here at Macquarie. And congratulations to our impending Macquarie graduate. Or just a few more years and we'll sign you up. You've definitely reminded many of us here of our own struggles as we've gone through university. So thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Distinguished guests, please join me in expressing our appreciation to Ms. Angela Brewer for that superb performance. And Angela is the founder and artistic director of Coast Opera Australia. Please join me also in thanking our musicians on the organ, the wonderful Heather Moen-Boyd. And on trumpet, Ms. Melanie McLaughlin. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the wonderful representatives from our alumni community who've come here today to help organise and celebrate this occasion. So please. Back to you guys. Graduates, this ceremony is a rite of passage, but I hope it's not the end of your connection with Macquarie University. You're now part of our family of alumni, a group of more than 200,000 people living in 140 countries. We will keep in touch with you and hopefully you with us through the alumni program. Make sure you come back to campus when you can, attend alumni events and perhaps even undertake more study. Most importantly though, remember the responsibilities that you now have as graduates. Continue the hard work and the commitment and the dedication that has brought you here today. Set demanding goals for yourself. Don't take the easy way out. Aim for goals that better your community, and importantly, all the way through that, retain your curiosity and pursue your dreams. Or as Brooke reminded us, don't miss the train. Remember the people who helped you along the way. Some of those are here today, and I want to acknowledge their support on your behalf. And I'm going to ask you, graduates, as is traditional at these events, if you'd stand now and turn to the people behind you and give them a round of applause in thanks. Now turn to the front again and please stay standing. With me on the dais are representatives of our academic staff. The people who have taught you, supported you, and are here to celebrate with you today. So I'd ask you to give them a round of applause too. Finally, turn around to one another and give yourself a resounding wave of applause. You deserve it. Well done. Please, graduates, be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates of Macquarie University, on behalf of the staff and the faculty of the university and of all our continuing students, I again offer you my warmest congratulations. For all of you joining us here today, family and friends, I thank you on behalf of the entire Macquarie community and in particular on behalf of our new graduates. I'd like to invite our newest graduates and their families and friends to join us through the portico out through these doors for refreshments. And I'd invite all of you, every single one of you, to enjoy our beautiful campus as you celebrate today. Wander around, see the atmosphere in which your loved ones, your friends have spent recent years. And I hope it'll retain a special place in your memories over the years ahead. So I'd now ask the audience to stand, please, and remain standing while the official party and our new graduates depart the hall. Thank you.